Oh, hello. Some of you requested some support with question 12 from exercise 11D for mechanics. So I'm going to do that now in this video. So this is question 12 here on page 191. And there is problem solving hints here about using simultaneous equations. It says a particle travels in a straight line such that its acceleration is given by this equation. Then it's got some conditions and it says to find the displacement, 6 marks. So going to be a big question here. Okay, so you're told when t is 2, s is 10, and when t is 3, s is 38. So we might put those in to get some simultaneous equations for this. Okay, and well done. Please look at these videos, so important, and to support your learning, because this is what I would have done in the lesson. So well done. I can see you are listening to this one, otherwise you wouldn't hear me speaking now. Okay, so what we're going to do for this? Well, first of all, we know the connection between, I'll just recap this, between displacement, velocity and acceleration. Okay, if we're going down, we differentiate. If we're going up, we integrate. Okay, so we're given acceleration and we want to get to displacement. So we've got to go to velocity before we get to displacement, and we have to integrate. So let's do that then. So remember, this is your key to the whole of chapter 11, or the majority of chapter 11. Right, so I'm going to integrate. So I know that v is the integral of acceleration with respect to time. So I'm going to integrate my expression for acceleration with respect to time. So if I integrate that, I add 1 to the power, divide by the new power. And that will go to 2t. Now you mustn't forget your constant of integration. So I'm just going to tidy this up. 3t squared plus 2t plus c. Okay, so that's my velocity. Now if I want to get my displacement, I have to now integrate velocity with respect to time. So we're now going to integrate this. Now, I couldn't find c at this case because I didn't have any conditions for velocity. I've only got conditions for displacement. Okay, so I'm going to integrate this, and so I'm just going to turn this round, and I will add 1 to the power, so this is s, divide by the new power, showing all my method. Now c is a constant, so it will go to ct. Now I've got a different constant of integration. I'm going to call it k. Doesn't matter what you call it, as long as you call it a different letter. Okay, let's just tidy this up. So my 3's cancel, my 2's cancel. Okay, so I've got 2 constants I need to find before I can find s when t is 4, which is what the question asks us to do. So I'm going to use the 2 conditions that I've got here at the start of my question. I'm going to sub those in. So when t is 2, s is 10, so put those in. 10 is 2 cubed plus 2 squared plus 2c plus k. So if I tidy that up, I will have, well that will be 12, so I'll put that on the other side, minus 2 equals 2c plus k. So there's one equation. Right, I'm going to now put in my other values. So when s is 38, t is 3. So I'm just putting it in to this equation here. So I will get 3 squared plus 3t plus k. And if I tidy that all up, I will get 2 equals 3c plus k. So now I've got two equations which I'm going to solve simultaneously. So if I write, I'm going to write this in a different colour now. So I'm going to write this on the top and the other one on the bottom. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract these two equations, because then my k's will disappear. So I'm going to subtract the 2. 2 minus 2 is 4. Take away, and those will disappear. So I get my c equals 4. Okay, now I can sub that into either of those equations. If I sub it into this one, I get 2 equals 3 times 4 plus k, because you're told c is 4. So I get this. So I can get my k to be minus 10. So now I've got my constants, so I'm going to sub those back into my original equation for s here. Okay, so I'm going to put them back into there. So let's just write this underneath. S equals 2 cubed plus t squared. We found c is 4 and k is minus 10. Okay, so that now becomes my equation. So now I'm going to go back to the question. Okay, the question said, find s when t is 4. So I'm just going to put t is 4 into this equation. I'm going to use my calculator to find out my answer. And if I do that, I will get 86 meters. So that's my answer for A. Okay, so quite complicated because we actually use simultaneous equations. Okay, now we're going to look at the part B, which says find the velocity when t equals 4. Okay, well we've already got an equation for velocity here. So let's just use this equation here for part B. And we know c is 4. And you're asked to find the velocity when t is 4. So you're just going to sub t into here, use your calculator, and you will find that the velocity would be 60 meters per second when t is 4. And that's the end of question 12. Thank you for letting me know that was a difficult question. Please don't just copy the solutions from Exam Bank. There's absolutely no point in doing that at all. You must try them on your own, then look at the solutions. If you don't get it, please let me know, like some people did for question 12. Thank you, take care and have a good day.